Welcome, everyone. I am just absolutely thrilled to have you here today. If you've ever looked at a sentence and wondered what exactly makes it tick, what gives it that life, that momentum, that movement, well, you are in the perfect place for today's explainer. Today, we're focusing all of our attention on the true engine of the sentence, the verb. Without verbs, our language, it'd literally just be a pile of motionless, confusing words. Verbs are the foundational driving force of absolutely everything we say and write. They're what propel our thoughts forward and make communication possible. So, are you ready? Let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into our agenda for today. First, we'll answer the big question, what is a verb? Second, we'll look at the subject, verb and object. Third, main and helping verbs. And finally, let's take a quiz to test your new knowledge. Section 1. What is a verb? The action word.
So a verb is a word used to describe an action, a state, or an occurrence. I actually like to think of a verb as the heartbeat of a sentence. Think about it. If you remove the verb, the sentence is just instantly broken. It becomes incredibly confusing. Just imagine trying to tell a friend a thrilling story about your weekend without using a single action word. You simply couldn't do it. But with a verb, suddenly we have action, we have momentum, and we have meaning. Let's see how this works in practice.
This brilliantly illustrates our point. The dog barks loudly. Just take a quick moment to read that to yourself. That word, barks, well, that's our verb. It's the action. It tells us exactly what the dog is actually doing. Without barks, we just have the dog loudly, which, just leaves us hanging, waiting for something to happen. The verb brings the noise and the action. And here's another fantastic example. She jumps over the puddle. Do you see how that just instantly paints this really dynamic picture in your mind? The subject, she, isn't just standing there statically. She is literally in midair. And that is the pure power of the action word. It shows us exactly what the subject is doing in the physical world.
Section 2. Subject, verb, and object. Building a sentence.
Okay, let's look at the fundamental architecture of a complete thought. Step 1 is our subject. That's the who or what that's performing the action. And that leads us directly to step 2, our verb, the action itself. Finally, we land on step 3, the object, which receives that action. So the subject acts upon the object directly through the verb. It's really just a beautiful logical chain of events.
Let's apply that logical chain to a real sentence. Step 1, the teacher, that's our subject. Step 2, reads, that's the action taking place. And step 3, a book, that's our object receiving the action of reading. So we get, the teacher reads a book. The flow of action goes straight from the teacher, right through the verb reads, and lands right on the book.
Section 3. Main and helping verbs. Working together.
Now, on the left side here, we have the main verb. This shows the primary main action of the sentence. But over on the right, we have the helping verb. And, just like the name heavily suggests, a helping verb acts as an assistant. It essentially helps the main verb show time, possibility, or deeper meaning. Basically, they're a team.
Let's see them team up. Take a close look at this sentence. He is running fast. So we've got a two-word verb phrase here. Running is the core action for sure, but is teams up with it to show us that the action is happening right now, in the present continuous moment. They work absolutely seamlessly together to give us the full picture.
Let's look at another one. They will play tomorrow. Now, play is our main action verb, but will, our helping verb, fundamentally changes the time of the action. It pushes the whole action forward into the future. They aren't playing right now, they will play tomorrow. The helping verb will does all that heavy lifting for the main verb. Pretty cool, right?
Section 4. Let's take a quiz. Test your knowledge.
All right, here is your very first question. Find the verb in this sentence. The sun shines brightly. I'm going to give you a few seconds of absolute silence to just lock in your answer. Where's the action word?
Let's check. The answer is, the sun shines brightly. If you guessed shines, wonderful job. You correctly identify the action word that gives the sun its presence and power in this sentence.
Okay, moving on to question number 2. We're leveling up a bit here. Find the helping verb and the main verb in this sentence. I am eating an apple. Remember to look for 2 separate words working together as a team to create the action. I'll give you a few seconds to spot both of them. Go ahead and lock in your guess.
So the crucial point here is knowing exactly how to spot the assistant and the main action. The answer is, I am eating an apple. Am is our helping verb, teaming up with eating, our main verb. If you found both of those, you are officially mastering verb phrases. Great job!
All right, this is our final challenge. Let's see if you can put the whole sequence together. Find the subject, the verb, and the object in this short sentence. Birds build nests. Remember that flow of action we learned about earlier? I'll give you just a few seconds to map it out in your head. All right, this is our final challenge. Let's see if you can put the whole sequence together. Find the subject, the verb, and the object in this short sentence. Birds build nests. Remember that flow of action we learned about earlier? I'll give you just a few seconds to map it out in your head. Okay, let's review your work. Here is the flow. The subject is birds. The action goes to the verb, build. And then the chain continues right to the object, nests. The action flows perfectly from the birds right through the building process, creating the nests. Give yourself a massive pat on the back for completing that chain. You know, you've done an absolutely incredible job today understanding the true engine of our language. We've built sentences from scratch, we've spotted action words, and we've seen exactly how verbs team up to change time and meaning. I'm just so proud of your focus today. I want to leave you with one final exciting challenge as you go about the rest of your day. Now try to find the verbs in the sentences you read, write, and speak every day.